Welcome to the Rosenborg team guide, a very famous club in Norway. They've won so many league titles down the years, and probably the most famous club, like I say, outside of Norway itself. Very well known, sort of Europe and worldwide. So let's take a look at them in detail. They were third last year, which is disappointing for them. They're going to have that big rivalry with Molde, I think, for the gold medal this year. The biggest stadium in the league, Lerkendal Stadion. Will that affect them when they're behind closed doors? There is certainly an intimidation there, which will probably not be as much compared to normal. So I think that could be a slight negative. Alec Horneland is the manager. I'm not convinced about him myself, whether he's the right fit here. I think he was maybe slightly lucky to keep his job. Worse Rosenborg managers have been sacked for much better performances actually in the league than what he managed to produce last season. The prediction there of 6, that's actually not right. It's actually a misprint there. Forget that 6 there. It's actually second. The graphic is wrong. I'm predicting them to finish second. Yeah, let's have a look where exactly Rosenborg is. They are from the city of Trondheim, which is in that sort of central region on the west coast there of Norway. So big stadium, Lerkendal Stadion there, but the fans will not be in it this season, or certainly not in the first half of the season anyway. Their fixtures, actually, they don't have the easiest of first 6 games. They start with Kristiansand at home, which is a very manageable game, which you would expect them to win and get off to a good start. But after that, there's some tough ones. Molde away, Bodø Glimt at home, Brann away, Vålerenga and Stabæk are not that easy either, and they could be facing a couple of sides who kind of are hard to score against, especially Brann, maybe Vålerenga as well. But I think the biggest concern is that they're also, in the first 3, they're facing quite some attack-minded teams. So from a fantasy point of view, let's have a look who they get at. I mean, they've got the best goalkeeper in the league in Andre Hansen at 6.5, though he's not cheap as an option. Fire is actually, he would start for most teams in the league, but he's the backup. Obviously, I don't know how many minutes Fire is going to get. Maybe we might get the odd game here and there, but it's a shame that he's not starting games somewhere. I mean, the defence itself will have good days where it keeps clean sheets, no doubt about it. But who's the best option to pick from the defence? I mean, Berger Melling's going to be leaving the club very soon. I think right back's going to be probably Reitan, who came back from a loan at Bodø Glimt, but Hedenstad, they're probably going to split minutes. Tori Reginison's 30 odd years old, 35. I think he's retiring at the end of this season. There'll be some rotation around here. Who to pick from the defence, I just don't really know. Probably best off going for the goalkeeper. If you want to try and get clean sheet points for Rosenborg, then look at the goalkeeper, even though he's not that cheap. Midfield and attack. I mean, the main striker is going to be Dino Islamovic. So you see the formation there, the predicted best 11 that I've got. Dino Islamovic is up front. And you know what? The one thing I will say about the manager, he does not like to rotate the side too much. Even in hectic times, he keeps the same sort of lineup. Islamovic will get tons of minutes out there on the field, I think. So he might actually be a good option. Even though I'm not necessarily his biggest fan, he'll do well and he'll score goals and he'll get chances. So do not discount Dino Islamovic. There's been a lot of talk about the wings, about Paul Andre Halland has been in great form pre-season, and Ading Benro's been in pretty good touch as well. If these players can get on fire, then you need to look at both. Halland is usually on penalties and free kicks, so he can add to his value there. But keep your eye on them fitness-wise, because you got to wrap them in cotton wool. There's often a lot of injuries there and niggles, and they can go down at any time. At the moment they're fit, which is good, so maybe you can certainly start the season with them, but you've got to be prepared at some point. There's going to be issues. Christopher Zachariasen might be a sort of sleeper in midfield. Depends how much he gets forward and scores goals. If he starts getting a few more sort of goals to his tally, 8.5 could look cheap for Christopher Zachariasen. He's the sort of player who might pick up a few bonus points as well. So Rosenborg, they've got a tough start. Say first 6 not the easiest. I think if I was going to look at a guy for them, it would be the goalkeeper, or I say Eddie Benro or Helland. Probably. I mean, I'm more of an Eddie Benro sort of fan myself, but Helland, I do admit, does have his upsides. And I think the first 3 games there will be goals in the Rosenborg team. So after that, it gets a little bit more difficult. But You know, if you've already got like Wolf Eikram and James from the Molde team in there, can you really afford some of these premium options? But there'll be people out there who trust Rosenborg, who believe they're going to go well, and you know, you can definitely look at some potential there going forward. It'd be interesting to see if any of the youngsters like Seder, maybe Botheim get many minutes as the season progresses. But yeah, there's definitely, if you like Rosenborg as a team, there's players here that can get you some points in the early doors. Let's say first 3, there are going to be some goals scored, but for the most part, the first 6 games are not the easiest as a overall package, so you might want to be cautious. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you managed to learn a little bit about Rosenborg. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate it an awful lot, and we'll see you again very soon for the next team guide video. Goodbye.